Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from just outside ZUELJIN'S house in another episode of Minecraft Survival from the Hermitcraft server. In the previous episode, we were working really hard on our dragon tail Logfellas railway line. And in this episode, my friends, we're going to be continuing working on that tunnel before heading into the LUSH Mesa to start something really awesome. I'm going to tell you guys all about that a little bit later in today's episode. Sit back and relax, my friends. I hope you got something tasty to sip on. I got a delicious cup of Earl Grey tea. Give me a second. Oh, man, that is what I'm talking about. Tea straight to the butthole. I'm ready for some Minecraft. And yeah, no crunchy snacks today because you guys don't want to hear me munching on some biscuits or something, but I hope you guys have got something tasty to snack on. And speaking of tasty, have a look at what is going down over here. We have a brand new neighbor in the blue residential district here on the Hermitcraft server. And this is the starter base for ZUELJIN, who has decided to come and play on the server once again, and he is streaming, and it is absolutely awesome, man. He has got his starter base going, looking pretty damn awesome, and I gotta say, I'm very happy to have another neighbor in the blue district. So welcome, ZUELJIN. Why don't you guys go over and watch his streams when you get a moment and tell him that the Cyberdog Nation says hello. And as you can see, he has plonked his base down here next to Tinfoil Chef, right here in the blue district, and it is fantastic to have some more hermits around here, man. Now, let's talk about some awesomeness. The lush Mesa biome. Isn't it looking beautiful? Oh, man. I have been working hard on this place, guys, and I've done a few more adjustments I wanted to show you today. Firstly, I've been planting some of our custom jungle trees. I wonder if you can spot them. There's one over there, there's another one over here, and I think they fit in real nice. Every now and then you get a little bit of a different color of wood, and you get the cocoa beans that are growing on them. That adds a little bit of interest to the whole build. I've also put some new paths into the place, and it is starting to come together real nice, man. I'm enjoying it. Today we're going to be doing something special in this Mesa biome, guys. I'm not going to tell you just yet, though. Oh, man, I'm so excited about it. However, though our lush Mesa is looking beautiful, there is something going on down there. Logged into the server this morning and spotted a disgusting beacon made out of diorite, and I feel filthy. I feel disgusting. I feel like I need to have a freaking bath right now because this is just unbelievable. Who has done this to us? Oh, hi, False. I don't know what's going on here, guys, but it looks like we've got our butthole pranked. Let's have a look at this. Alpha Drone says hi. ReNDoG, this is for you. Okay, I kind of like it. Profound Game says hi. ReNDoG, this is for you. And what, do we have anything on the other side here? I think I know what's going on over here. I heard a rumor that Iskall may have pranked us during one of his streams. And it looks like these are two of his viewers that came up with an idea to give us an ugly-ass diorite beacon. Yeah. Well, thank you, Iskall, Alpha Drone, and Profound Games. Thank you for this. Thank you very much for this, actually. This beacon is going to come in handy, I must say. And actually, this beacon is going to be perfect for the idea that I have for the lush Mesa biome. So we're going to hang on to that for today's episode. This pile of diorite, though, and there's granite in the middle of it. Oh, it gets even more disgusting, doesn't it? Absolutely foul. Well, I tell you what, guys, let's clear this mess up, and then we're going to head down into our tunnel and get tunneling, I guess. Thanks, Iskall. Order has been restored. That's much better. All of that diorite is now out of my eyeballs. And you know what, guys? I've just realized something. All of that diorite distracted my brain from the awesomeness that has just happened. We got a beacon. We got a freaking beacon. That is epic. I mean, let's face it, guys. It's pretty much an impossibility at this stage of ReNDoG killing the Wither and making his own beacon. So this is actually an amazing gift now that I think about it. A very thoughtful gift. Iskall and his viewers realizing that ReNDoG is an utter noob, and thus helping us out with a bit of a beacon. So thanks, guys. I'm actually really pleased with that. That is fantastic, man. And you know what? It actually is going to help us a lot, because the beacon that we are currently in, you guys can see that we do have a haste beacon upgrade going on in the top right hand corner. That beacon doesn't extend into the back end of the Lush Mesa. So this new beacon is perfect for what I want to do with you guys in the Lush Mesa today. So that's an actually not really much of a prank, just an amazing gift from my good friend Iskall. So yeah, I'm well pleased. I'm well pleased. Speaking of well pleased, are you guys ready to have a look at the progress that I have made in our wonderful Logfellas railway tunnel? Oh yes, isn't it looking awesome? Since the last episode, I have laid down the railway tracks. I've put in all of these powered booster tracks, and this extends all the way down to the end of the tunnel. I've also inserted the double helix dragon tails, as some of you guys have asked me to call it, all the way down. And basically what happens is there are sections of double helix dragon tails that happen all the way down. You know what, guys? Let's get into the minecart and let's go on a little journey. You guys can get a feeling of what it's like to travel down this thing. Look at this. Isn't this fantastic? Let's get rid of all of this stuff and experience the joys of this tunnel firsthand. I absolutely love it. What I don't love, though, is the speed. I think we're going a little bit too slowly. I showed Iskall the build yesterday. He was like, man, this is so freaking awesome. I love it. However, I reckon you could make it even better by adding some more booster tracks into the build. And that, to me, sounded like an excellent plan. But Iskall went a little bit further. And what he suggested was that we should make the double helix dragon tail sections really, really fast. So when we hit these sections, we're cruising and then we slow down again, right? So we're going to be variating the speed as we're traveling down the tunnel, or trying to variate the speed anyway. And that's going to add another awesome effect into this journey. Let me just get rid of all of these freaking dirt blocks over here. They are looking super ugly. So I reckon to start off today's bit of crafting, let's start installing a few more booster rails along our tracks, especially in the double helix dragon tail sections. That's actually a really sweet name for these things, the double helix dragon tail. We were calling it the double dragon spiral style, weren't we? But I suppose it should be the double dragon double helix style. I guess is what it actually should be called. And anyway, this is how I have been installing these powered rails. I'm putting them underneath the track itself. I did try to use a block of redstone, but it looked a little bit ugly. I want to try and keep the place looking real natural. You know, the idea is that this is a route, a giant route running through the Mesa biome, and I don't want to have sort of redstone blocks here and there. I want it to look kind of natural. So we've added another booster rail over here. Is that going to increase our speed at all? Let's do a little bit of a test. Let's boost down here. So we hit this one. Boom, we hit that one. It didn't quite increase our speed, I think. However, I think it's going to help to maintain the speed. I don't actually know if we can get any faster, or if we've reached terminal velocity already. We might need to add like a butt ton more of these powered rails. So instead of just having one here, maybe we have 3 in the double helix sections. That could potentially increase our speed. I suppose we just have to do a few tests here. So I reckon let's get a couple more powered rails in here, like so. Let's get those redstone torches down there. I really like doing it naturally like this, guys. Seriously, I think it feels a lot better. We're using a ton of gold for this, though. So where has that minecart gone? Let's go get it back and see if we can do another test. Now, another thing that I want to work on today with you guys in the tunnel are the walls of the tunnel, right? We've got the sort of foundation of the tunnel down now. The spiral's looking real awesome, but now I want to start working on the walls and exactly what we're going to be putting into them. Let's have a look. If we hit this, it doesn't feel like it's gotten faster by hitting the triple track there. Let's have a look. If we go this way, go a little bit faster. Yeah, the triple track hasn't really made a difference, has it? However, I think we are slowing down in between these sections. So by adding a powered rail into the double helix sections like we've been doing over here, I reckon we could potentially help to maintain speed through these sections at the very least, which I guess will basically achieve our goal just as well. So I tell you what, guys, I'm going to get a powered rail into each of the double helix sections. I'll be back with you in a jiffy. Alright, welcome back, Cyberdogs. I have just finished adding a powered rail into each of the double helix sections all the way up the tunnel, and I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped to see if this is going to make a difference. I've also made a slight adjustment to the starting platforms. I've added 2 powered rails 1 block away from our starter powered rail over here, just so that when we start our journey, we can get up to full speed a little bit quicker. We were sort of trickling out of the starting block in the previous build, and I wanted to get up to full speed a little bit faster. So let's see if that is actually going to do the trick, and let's see if we can get a little bit more speed through the double helix sections. I don't know if it's actually going to make a difference, but let's have a look. So we're cruising through here. We should be traveling at top speed now because we're hitting a powered rail every now and then. The double helix section is looking good. Now we're going to go into the single helix section. Let's see if we actually slow down and get that slower effect. Well, didn't feel like it through that section, but that was quite a small one. Here's the second single helix section, and it definitely feels like we're going a little bit slower here, doesn't it, guys? A little bit. And here we're going to go into the double helix section. Oh yes, we've definitely picked up speed here. Yeah, definitely, man. That is awesome. We were cruising so fast over there that we actually started lagging a little bit. But I just need to finish it off on this side too, to do the starting track on this side. So check it out. Here's how I did it, right? So just a couple of redstone torch eyes under here. Then it looks like we need to make sure we have our dark oak wood log over there to complete that section. And then just a couple of spruce planks. That's going to do real nice, and put our powered rails over there. Boom, baby. That is now completed. Now both of our starter docks are going to be firing at full speed down the line. That's fantastic. I love it, man. I love it. Now, we got a lot of work still to do on this track, guys. I know it's starting to look like it's pretty close to finished, but it's miles away from finished. You guys can see that I've done a little bit of work on the roof section at the beginning here. I was experimenting with this design. I kind of like it, but I also have been reading some of the comments you guys have been making about keeping the clay look in the tunnel, not making it completely wooden. And in a way, I kind of agree with that thought. I kind of like the idea of maintaining the fact that this root has sort of dug its way through the mesa, right? It's clawed and smashed its way through all of this hard clay, and it would be a shame to get rid of all of the clay. So today I want to see if we can come up with a design that is not only going to look really Logfellas-y, because that's what I'm trying to do with this railway line, but also maintain the sort of natural look of the tunnel, so that we know that we're in a Mesa biome, right? So that's going to be interesting. Now, what I want to do next is finish off the side platforms of the railway line itself. And what I've done here is I've got a line of dark oak wood planks sort of skirted off by spruce stairs over here, and I think it looks really, really nice. I experimented with a whole bunch of different styles. I know that when we first started this build, we were experimenting with a completely different style where the stair was right next to the railway track, but I actually changed my mind on that one. I'm not too mad about it now, especially with the helix thing that we got going on. I feel like the area around the railway track needs to be nice and wide like this, right? And the real reason is because of these blocks over here. I want the logs that make up the helixes to stick out of the planks. And in the build that I did before, the logs were getting flat with the planks over here. So this was the previous design like this, right? And this is just, I don't like this. I really don't like what this looked like. So what I did was I experimented a little bit, and I dropped that block connection to the actual logs down by 1, and I think it's just come together real nice. But I got to place a lot of stairs now. I'm going to go through a lot of spruce to do this, and I'm going to get it done, and we're going to have a look at, I think I've laid down the dark oak wood logs, or the dark oak wood planks all the way down. Yeah, I have. So all I need to do now is get the spruce stairs in, and then we'll have a look, man. It's going to look so freaking awesome. Quick progress update, guys. I've just laid down all of the stairs down the right-hand side of the track, and now I'm going to head back all the way up and get the left-hand side finished. There are a few little adjustments that I need to make as I'm going on the way up. And you know what, man? One of the really interesting things for me in these sort of builds in Minecraft, especially these very high detailed builds, is how easy it is to forget the really small details, right? So check it out. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You see over here, what we need to do is make sure that that block underneath the stair where the railway line goes down a block is not looking super janky. And I think you can see it all the way up here, actually. I think I fixed it on that side. And there is a creeper. Creeper, say hello to my little friend, dude. How did you spawn in here, man? I'm sure that I had a bunch of light, but apparently there are some sections where creepers can spawn. But check it out. Here's another little section we need to fix up here, right? There we go. And it's so easy, especially for really big builds like this, to sort of forget about those tiny little adjustments, right? Because you're doing so much detail and because the build is so massive, I often just start forgetting about it. So what I'd said to myself now was, okay, we'll just lay down the stairs and then we'll go back up the railway line and replace the blocks where we need to. But inevitably, if you do it that way, you forget some or you miss some. And then you put up a video on YouTube and some Cyberdog with amazing hawk eyeballs goes, ReNDoG, you left out a block over there in the helix, you noob. Go and fix it. My OCD is kicking in something fierce. So I'll tell you what, guys, from now on, I'm going to do it one block at a time. So I'm going to do it as I progress. Hopefully, that should save us all a few face palms, I reckon. Logfellas railway line floor design successfully installed. Oh man, check how sweet this place is looking now, dudes. I've just finished putting down a bunch of stairs and let's go on a journey all the way back to the start of the railway line. And yeah, I'm loving it, man. If you guys see any blocks out of place, please let me know, but I'm pretty sure that I've got everything right here. Hello, zombie. Thanks for that face slap as I passed. How freaking rude. But man, I am loving this railway line, guys. It is looking so freaking sweet. But we need to start working on the walls of it. That is the final big task for this build. And yeah, it's going to be a monster one. However, I think I've got some really cool ideas, guys. I've been thinking about this in my sleep when I've been having a bath. I've been trying to figure out exactly how these walls are going to go down. All right, Cyberdiggity dogs, it is time to get our Minecraft designer thinking caps on because we need to figure out how we are going to make the final part of this build absolutely awesome. And we need to figure out what we're going to do for the walls of our spiral tunnel. I want to do this build with you guys, okay? So I'm not going to make too much progress in the episodes until I've read your feedback because I'm really enjoying making this build with you, and I know you guys are enjoying it too. So let me give you a little bit of an idea about what I'm thinking, and then I'd like to see what you guys are thinking. So from the very center of when the tail touches the railway line, which is always this block over here, we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks in from each side, and that is where we are going to be starting to set up basically what I want to call a cage, right? It's all going to become a lot clearer in a second. Here's the center track. As you can see, wherever the powered rail is where we want to be counting from. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is where the cage is going to begin, I suppose. Now behind this cage over here is where I want to put stuff. Whether that stuff is, I don't know, a beautiful looking cave, a hermit, aka a named zombie with a hermit's head on it, anything like that, I reckon, is what I want to put inside of these cages. Now, the problem that we're having over here, of course, is that it's looking a little bit strange right now. Maybe what we need to do is try and continue the symmetry there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the next one is going to be, or what we can do is work it out here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be the next pillar of the cage. I suppose we're just going to have to go with this. Is this 4 or 3? No, this is 3. This is kind of tricky because this helix is an interesting idea, right? There's a strange kind of symmetry to it. It's not a sort of square or circular symmetry. We need to try and figure out exactly how that works. But I think that's looking pretty decent. Now, let me give you an idea of what I'm thinking, okay? I want to have a layer of logs like this, that on top of this layer, we are going to be sticking fences. Behind the fences is going to be whatever we are going to put behind the cages, right? So we're going to have these fences like this, and maybe what we do need to do, wow, that scared the living jazz out of me. Maybe what we do need to do over here in this section is work out some sort of a, I guess we might need to do something like this, right? Let's have a look how this is going to look. We might need to add a line of blocks at the top just to sort of square off the cage, I guess. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have to fiddle around with this, I think. But let's just for now go with that idea, right? So we got this cage like this. Now, I was mentioning earlier that I kind of want to try and keep the design of the mesa itself in this build, just so that we know that we are traveling through a mesa. So maybe what we do is we leave these back walls like this, but I want a little bit more space here, right? So let's dig a little bit more back into the wall like so. And here is where we can start doing some interesting things. My first thought was to get some grass down here, right? Get a little bit of grass down here, and then grow some tall grass behind here, or put some flowers or some, I don't know, some bushes with some prismarine light behind them, or something like that, right? So check it out. If we add a little bit of bone meal over here, get the grass growing, and of course what we would do is have some flowers and whatnot inside of here, and let's just grow it a little bit behind there. And that is of course going to break up the like super flat look of the walls, of the clay walls. That might help a lot. So there we go. Check it out, right? That looks pretty freaking sweet. Let's just finish off this cage. This is just like a very rudimental design of the cage, right? So that looks pretty cool, I think. That looks pretty cool. I mean, the wall's a little bit dull. Maybe what we could do is, I don't know, add like some supports into the walls. Let me show you guys what I mean, right? Let's get back here. The thinking being that, you know, this cave was excavated, or the root itself dug through this this clay, but when we came to make our railway line, we needed to add some support into it. So maybe what we could do is add a couple of fences like that into it, which I think is pretty sweet. Maybe we could add some sort of light features in here. That could be pretty awesome too. And maybe, maybe the back of the wall over here is propped up by logs or something, just so that we can like break up the look of the place. So for example, if we did a little something like this, right? Just get some logs into the back here, just to represent that it's holding up the clay, so to speak, right? And let's get a little bit more grass in there too. A couple of tall ones. I like this one in the corner over here. There we go. Okay, that's looking pretty interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And you know what? I really do like maintaining the mesa blocks in there. I think it really adds, I don't know, adds a little bit of color or something into it, and I think it looks pretty cool. Now, if we are running down the helix over here, the one problem I have is that this wall is, I don't know, I think everything needs to get pushed back by another one, doesn't it? Or we sort of lose the circular feel of the helix. Yeah, I think that's going to have to happen. All right, friends, this is coming together real nice. Have a look at what I've been up to over here. I've pushed everything back by one, so now the fence wall starts directly behind the top of the roof section, and I think that looks really sweet. What I've done also is added some birch leaves into this, and I've added some torches on top of fences, and I think that looks great. Now, the real nice touch that I've done here is I've dropped down this section by one block, so I've added a ditch that is running along the side of the railway line, right? And that helps to break up the flatness in this section. And I've also added a couple of gaps in the fence where the grass is sort of grown through. The thinking being, you know, that the fence is down underground. It's eroding. It's not exactly perfect. And you know what? We could even do the same thing at the top of it like this. Maybe we could have some of the leaves growing through the fence like that, right? Implying the fence is pretty old, and so on. So that looks pretty awesome, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of this design. I kind of dig it. It does mean, though, I'm going to have to do a bunch more excavating. But you know what, guys? If we can make this place look absolutely beautiful, it'll be worth every single second of it, man. But I tell you what, guys, we're going to move on to another project in today's episode because I want to get your feedback on this tunnel design. We're going to head over into the Lush Mesa, and man, have I got a sweet-ass idea for you guys. We're going to be using this beacon also. Oh, hello there, skeleton! That skeleton wants to rumble with me. This beacon that Iskall has given us so kindly is going to be put to very good use in our Lush Mesa biome, guys. I've got a fantastic idea. I'll see you on the other side of this kaplam. Kaplowy! So here we are, my friends, back in our Lush Mesa biome. And I gotta tell you, Cyberdogs, I have had an epiphany. I've had such an awesome idea for this place. I think it's going to blow your minds clear out the water. I finished off the map, which we had a look in the previous episode, and now our Lush Mesa sits right in the center of it. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to be putting this map in a map room up here, a project that we are doing on live streams. But listen to this, guys. Listen to this. What we are currently trying to do in this Lush Mesa biome is create a custom Minecraft biome, right? That's the thinking. That's the idea. Now, what is missing out of this custom biome that other Minecraft biomes have that we haven't thought about just yet? A freaking village. Oh yeah, baby. I reckon we make for ourselves a custom Minecraft village in our Lush Mesa biome, exactly the way that Minecraft would render a village in the game. Let's try and render our very own village in our Lush Mesa biome. Oh man, I think it is such an awesome idea. So what we're going to do is we are going to have a village in the biome that has all of the things that a normal Minecraft village has, right? And I've been thinking about some various locations for this village, and I've been scouting over there at the end of the biome for the location, which I think is a pretty decent spot, but I want to see the village from my house, right? So if we have a look at this map over here, I reckon we got two main areas. We got this area over here, which is nice and empty, and we have a big area over here where we're standing right now. We've also got an area over there at the end of the Lush Mesa and directly in front of our house. But I think I'm going to use this area for something else. So I reckon maybe what we do is we put the village either here or over here. Now the problem with this spot over here is that it's on top of a hill. But I think that that could add a pretty interesting challenge for us to make this village really awesome. So here on the top of the very hill, maybe this is where our primary building goes. I'm going to lay down a couple of foundations for us using these yellow blocks, and that'll give us a pretty decent idea if this is the right place for it. Now, what are we going to do about this beacon? I hear you guys asking. Well, here's my thinking. Okay, what I want to create, maybe we do it down here to start with. I want to create the church building for this village, right? So we know that Minecraft villages have a church structure in them, which is like a nice tall tower. And I reckon for our own custom village, we do exactly the same thing. So if this over here is going to be the tower of our custom village town, let's just get it up a couple of blocks so that we can see where it's going. If we go all the way up like this, right? So this is the tower, and the building itself, I suppose we probably go one block higher, like so. We can make it higher or taller, just depending on what it looks like from the house over there. Say that is the church building, and maybe it extends in this direction like this. I don't know, maybe it's like this. We'll just build like a very, very simple church structure, like so. Just get up a few support blocks like this, just so that we can get a basic idea of what the house is going to look like. There we go. And of course, we have to decide what these buildings are going to be made out of. I mean, we can't be making them out of cobblestone like your normal Minecraft village. They're going to have to be made out of custom blocks, right? They're going to have their own like custom palette, which I'm super excited about trying to figure out. I think that's going to be real awesome. So let's just get this finished off like so. So if this is our little church building, right, that is going to be making up our custom village in the Lush Mesa biome. It's looking super janky right now, but that's okay. That's okay. This is just the foundations. We can do a lot more work around here. I think what we do need to do, though, is make the tower a little bit higher. So let's make the tower like 3 blocks higher, I reckon. Get some nice height on the sucker. Now, here's the trick, right? Here's the trick. And here's where we're going to be using our beacon. If we were to make a custom village in Minecraft for our Lush Mesa biome, assuming that the Lush Mesa biome is like uber rare, for example, there's only one Lush Mesa biome in your entire Minecraft world, right? If we're just using our imagination, if the Lush Mesa was a part of Minecraft itself, why don't we make the village of the Lush Mesa really, really awesome, right? So the buildings are going to look really amazing, and maybe in the church of our Lush Mesa biome village, you get a beacon. And that beacon is shining up through the tower of the church, right? Through the main church tower. The beacon is going up into the sky, and if you are traveling through Minecraft, you will see that beacon in the distance, and that way you will know you have found the rarest custom biome in all of Minecraft, known as the Lush Mesa biome. And what we could do, of course, also with the blacksmith is we could make the blacksmith really special. Maybe the librarian or the library bookshelves that you get in Minecraft villages, maybe that could be an enchanting facility, right? And the church of the village will be a beacon facility. So that's the idea. And I reckon that it's going to make a real good use of the beacon that Iskal gave for us in the beginning of the episode. I want to know what you guys think about that idea. Let me know in the comment section below, or you can send me emails, or you can go to dogcraft.net and give me your guys' ideas. I'm really awesomely keen, should I say, to get your guys' feedback. You can hit me up on Twitter too, if that's easier for you. But get that feedback coming in, guys. I want to hear what you think about a custom Minecraft village for our custom Lush Mesa biome. I think it's a super awesome plan. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, by the way. We've run out of time, but I've had loads of fun on the Hermitcraft server today. Thank you for joining me. My name has been ReNDoG. I'm a real-life hermit, and I'm playing some Minecraft. So make sure you have subscribed if you haven't hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button, my friends. Can't wait to see you all in the next episode.